welcome back to another mukbang. I've been having a really big cheese craving lately, so I really wanted to make my own baked camembert. I bought it a couple of weeks ago. I just did something really simple. I just cut some little slits in there and put in a few pieces of sliced garlic. Like, can you see? A little piece of garlic. Bit of dried parsley and olive oil on top. I wanted to use rosemary, like fresh rosemary instead, but I couldn't find it near me. I went to Asda, I went to Tesco to try to find it, and they didn't have any at the time. So, and over here, Tesco sell bread that you can finish baking for yourself in the oven, because the one next to me, again, they don't do it fresh anymore, which is really sad. But can you hear the crunch? Don't know if you can, but it just sounds so good to me. And it smells so amazing and garlicky, and I'm really looking forward to tucking into this. I'm wondering whether to take it off the paper or not. I don't think I will. That's just a baking sheet I use. Because I feel like it's just going to spread everywhere super fast. So I'm going to try a piece with a sliver of the garlic. Let's try a bit of what's melted out here. Ah, that looks delicious. That is good. Garlicky, super garlicky. And because the garlic is baked slightly and it's mixed with that olive oil, it just it's not overpowering. Let's dig into that cheese. I didn't want to get rid of the rind. I feel like that's half the flavour, and people might hate me for that. Can you see? Let's peel a little back. Oh. It is molten. I really wish the camera would pick it up nicely, but it's so gooey, cheesy. That was so good. Salty and garlicky. It's not overpowering. It's smooth. Oh wow. I just baked it for 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. It sticks to your lips a little bit. I only wish I had some cranberries or some baked nuts, like pine nuts or something, that I could just dip it into afterwards. It's so rich, you feel like you need something else with it, but the garlic is just so good. I was going to make garlic bread at first, but I thought, no, if I'm going to add garlic to the actual cheese, there's no point. Just take a bit of that rind with it. I know not everyone eats it. I don't know how much of it I'll eat. I don't eat camembert often, to be honest. And this one's a nice mild one, because I don't like strong cheese. Unless it's parmesan. It's sticking to my lips. had a little disaster today. I was heating up hot wax, and I definitely overheated it because it wouldn't melt for ages, and it got to a point where it was just perfectly done. But then the bottom of the pot just melted. The bottom of the tray, the pot just melted, and all of the wax that I'd heated up pooled out into my microwave plate. So I'd spend a good hour trying to clean that up. Which took ages. It was just a big old disaster. And I was trying to clean the worst of it up with like tissue. But obviously the tissue sticks, so every now and again I'd have to reheat the wax that's in the plate just so it gets to a point where it's movable again and not sticking to everything. Oh, never again. It gets really sticky. And feel it sticking to my teeth. And feel it sticking to the inside of my mouth, my lips, my gums. Let's take a bit more of that rind. I hope it's focusing, but I'm sorry for my really bad camera. My original plan was actually just to cut this up, bread it and fry it, and have it with jam. But I didn't feel like frying. I just wanted to go for the easy option, so I baked it instead. Just a molten pool of cheese. Wow. So sticky. The first time I had Camembert, I made it in a dish years ago. It was some puff pastry tart which was full of like onions and peppers, and oh, I can't remember everything I added. To be honest, it was. I think I must have made this around 7, 8 years ago. I'm not exaggerating. It was like when I was just getting into cooking, and I just saw a picture of this, and I thought, wow, that was delicious. And it was a Camembert and brie tart. It took me all day to make it because I was a really, really slow cook. And I was just working on it for hours, doing all the prep. You know, cutting all the cheese, cutting all the vegetables, the onions and all that. And I went into the oven. Took quite a while just, you know, to bake. And by the time we ate, I think it was around 9, 10 o'clock at night. It just took me so long. And everyone's really hungry. We've got this super cheesy tart with this molten cheese in there. We're oozing with Camembert and brie. It was really good. But I remember not everyone could eat too much of it because it got so rich. There was just so much cheese. And you know when you eat too late in the day, you get too hungry, your appetite sometimes goes. It's not the best. At least for me, I find that's the case. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find that if I don't eat much throughout the day, or I eat really late, I can't eat as much as I normally could. It's like I need to exercise my stomach to like stretch it out to be able to eat more. Actually, when I just remembered, there's that big thing about that YouTuber who everyone thinks has been kidnapped. Like she posts mukbangs, and she's usually blindfolded in the mukbangs, and she eats massive quantities of seafood and sushi and things like that. And everyone seems to think she's been kidnapped. She hasn't eaten for days, which is why she's eating so fast. And one big flaw I find in that argument is the fact that she's eating so much. I mean, if you've been starved for days, sure, you'll eat fast, but you won't be able to eat that quantity of food. I don't think even these competitive eaters starve themselves before a competition. They drink loads and eat loads to expand their stomach before the competition to make sure they can eat a big amount. And I don't think someone's going to starve someone and then dish out food that's worth hundreds, easily hundreds, because she'll eat like crab legs, sushi, which is so expensive. She's got nice polished nails and stuff, and the fact that she's eating fast doesn't tell me she's starving. It just tells me she's trying to eat as much as she can before she feels full. Of course I could be wrong. There's always that possibility, but I feel like on YouTube, everyone sort of jumps to conclusions really fast. And maybe it's at a point where she's realised she's getting attention from this, and she just does, you know, subtle things to make it seem like things are worse than they are. Like people say they hear voices in the background telling her to eat faster. Maybe, maybe not. But maybe it's just so people watch her videos. I'm kind of cynical about things like this. You know, with YouTubers, I kind of feel like I'm more cynical. I feel like they very easily make up stuff or exaggerate things for views. I could obviously be wrong, but I feel like that's generally the case. Obviously, I hope there's nothing wrong. Oops. But I just feel very doubtful about the whole situation. I feel that people are just jumping to conclusions with that one. I feel like it always starts with some person who comments something and everyone jumps onto it like it's some big conspiracy, because I feel like to a certain point people kind of want it to be a conspiracy. Like, not conspiracy, but to be something like that, because it's different. I'm not saying that they want someone to be in a bad situation and things like that, and that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying it's sort of exciting to a point to have something like that to talk about. I mean, that's what people latch onto. They want something to discuss, and if you can discuss that, that's, I mean, it's a meaty topic. And part of me just feels like that's what's happened. People want it in a way to be something like that, so they have something to talk about, make videos about. You know, I don't know. I could be wrong, obviously, but that's just my own opinion. Itchy nose. That's my 2 pennies on the matter. Oh, one hint if you're making Camembert and you want to bake it and have it when it's really gooey without it curdling, use something that's unpasteurised, otherwise it will just curdle. And don't overbake it. I put it in for 15 minutes, checked to see if it was done. I thought it could do with a little longer, so I did 20 minutes instead. If you overcook it, it will just harden up again, and you'll think, oh well, I need to bake it more to get nice and molten and gooey, but it's not going to happen. Don't overcook it. Check it at 15 minutes if you feel like it needs more than 20 minutes, and don't have the heat too high. I'm hoping I don't have cheese on my jumper. The bread is good though, considering it's not like fresh. It's one of those that you have to finish baking yourself. Piece of the rind. Ooh, the rind is strong around the edge. If I'm being honest, Camembert really isn't one of my favourite cheeses. I like it, but I'm also never overly fussed about it. I'm seeing if maybe in the future I could get something to sort of shave my food so it looks a bit better instead of looking so washed out. No. I feel like it's I don't know. It's not my favourite cheese. Every now and again I do want it, and I had a craving for it, which is why I made it today. But it's not my go-to cheese. Like, I just love melted mozzarella and cheddar and things like that. That's what I like. I'm trying to get all the cheese that's here. I think in future, if I make it again, I'll peel the top off and put the garlic inside so the cheese gets really nicely flavoured, not just the crust. The rind on top is good. I just don't like the rind around the edges. It's a little overpowering. So much cheese. Oh, there's a good bit of garlic in this one, I think. I really like that pop of garlic. Cheesy. Focus. Keep having to drag my hair back. I don't want to get in my food. Oh, it's filling. Who knew a whole Camembert cheese was so filling? And a whole loaf of bread. A whole stick of bread. Who knew? Jeez. It starts to get overpowering. It's definitely something I should share. Of course, as usual, I always ask for suggestions. If anyone wants me to really do anything for a future video, I'll try. Of course, it depends on whether I can make it. Like, I don't always have access to all the ingredients. I'll try my best, but not everything's always available. Sometimes it's too expensive. Like a seafood boil, I can't always do those. You know, crab legs, I can't do those right now. I don't have hundreds to dish out on one dish. I wish I did, but obviously I don't. I'm a student. I just don't have that money lying around. I can try, you know, different things, but sometimes I have to be in the mood to eat it and have it. Do make suggestions and I will try to keep to them. If it just be patient if it doesn't happen straight away, because obviously I'm not going to cook everything right the next day as soon as it's asked for. Yeah. But otherwise, ask away. I'm so sick of cheese now. Camembert cheese. Oh. I have some butterscotch pudding in the fridge. I think I'll definitely eat some of that afterwards. I just need something sweet. Like, I don't feel really full. I just feel really sick of the flavour. But we don't waste in this household. I try not to waste anyway. Which is why sometimes I don't. Which is why I don't want to be. I don't want to make like massive quantities of food either at one time. You know, when there's just a whole spread of food and it never gets finished. It kind of bothers me. It's all clean. It really bothers me because I was raised where we don't waste at all. I mean, once I was eating Cocoa Pops and I thought, it is a bit weird. I was telling my mum there's something wrong with these Cocoa Pops. And I was too young to realise that the milk had expired. My mum thought I was just saying that so I didn't eat my cereal. My mum thought I was just saying that so I don't eat my cereal. And she's like, no, eat it, it's fine, it's fine. I'm like, no, there's really something wrong with this. I said it has taste, because I didn't know how to say it tastes bad or it tastes off or it's expired. I used to just say it has taste. It makes no sense, but I was a kid. I was like 5 or 6. And eventually, like 10 minutes later, she tasted it. She's like, oh, the milk's expired. Rather than get me a new bowl of cereal, she scooped out the Cocoa Pops into a new bowl, got rid of the milk in there, and put fresh milk into this pile of Cocoa Pops, which had obviously soaked in a bit of expired milk. And she's like, okay, eat up. And she doesn't remember doing that, I think. I don't know, maybe she does, but I think she's shocked herself that, you know, she did that. Like, she wouldn't obviously do that now, and I think she's like, why would I do that? but it still had that slight taste of the expired milk in there, and I was like, this isn't right. And I was so put off Cocoa Pops for the longest time. And I got afterwards, ever since then, every time I buy milk, if a day or two passes, I have this habit of just sniffing at the, once I take off the lid, just to make sure it's fine. Even if I bought it like a day ago and the expiry date isn't for another week, I still have this habit of just sniffing it just to make sure it's all fine. Because I absolutely hate the taste and smell of expired dairy. Hate it. And yeah, so that's just an example. We don't waste. When we have a bottle of soap or hand wash, and it gets that point where there's just that tiny little bit at the bottom, and it won't squeeze anymore, like it's making that noise. When it gets to that point, is it empty? No. You pour water in there and more hand wash. And that's the kind of thing we do at home. We like to get the last bit. We try not to waste at home. Especially just mainly when it comes to food, that we don't like to throw things out. I feel really guilty if I've made a dish and I didn't like the dish and I've had to throw it out, because I feel like that's just so much food wasted. Because I cook for 2 days. I'm just scooping it out now with my finger. It's sort of, it's cooled down, so it's kind of hardening up again. It still tastes good. It's just cooler. So I've said this before, but whenever I cook a dish, I cook it for 2 days. So I don't have to cook again straight away. Plus it's cheaper for me, it works well. So if it doesn't work out, that's like 2 days of food just gone. I probably sound so cheap, but I really have to be. I have to be careful. And with the money I save up on food, it comes in handy. Because I managed to buy myself a nice TV, a 50-inch TV for my apartment. I bought a couple of snakes, and I can afford to feed them, of course. I went on holiday with the money I saved up for a good long time, like over a month that I was on holiday. And that's just because I was careful with my money throughout the year. And I'm not just hoarding my money for the sake of it. I'm just being careful because I know it can go on something later. And if I had an emergency, I'd have to ring my parents like, oh, help me out. I'm done. I finished most of the cheese. I feel like I did a pretty good job. It's just the rind left. I don't know if you can see that well. It is just the rind. The little dot of cheese here and there, but it's mainly that. Proof. But yeah, it was really good. It's really, really rich. It's not my favourite cheese in the world. Like, I like it, but it's not my favourite. But I'm glad I made it. The bread was good. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And if you are happy with the video as well, as usual, please leave a like, subscribe, click that notification bell, and I will hopefully be posting more soon. And I hope you have a really lovely day. Thank you, bye.